Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and we are at Crazy Horse Monument in South Dakota, not even 15 minutes from Mount Rushmore. If you're in that neck of the woods, you've got to go check out both of these carvings. And Crazy Horse isn't finished yet, but it's still very exciting. We are walking towards a place where you can grab a free rock. Actually, I think they ask you for a buck or two donation, but it's kind of on the honor system. And this is literally pieces of stone where they've blasted out and carved on the monument, and you can actually take one of those home with you. We've visited here twice, and I've taken a couple rocks back home with me each time. I have those rocks in one of our gardens right now with some other rocks from other places, which I just think is kind of neat. I just wanted to point that out while we were there, though. Looking at some postal history and some postal stuff right now. You know, I'm fascinated with postmarks and that kind of a thing. Anyway, this is our first visit back in 2012. We stopped here. We probably spent about half a day or longer here at the Crazy Horse Monument on that particular day. And in fact, I'm not going to talk very long on this one. I think this video runs a little bit over half an hour. Most of it is from the bus tour. I think for a few extra bucks, I forget how much it was. They take you on a bus and you go out and you can get a much closer look at what's going on with the monument. And I love that. You'll see later I do get some close-ups of some cranes and some people working on the monument. And you get a feel of just how epic and how huge the Crazy Horse Monument is. A lot of museum space here, lots of sculptures from the man who basically started this project. And this project is very closely tied to Mount Rushmore in a lot of ways. And I don't want to get too into it just because you can look up a ton on the monument online. It's very well documented. But this is a great place to go. I know some people go out to South Dakota and think, yeah, you can see Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore from the road. Go ahead and pay whatever the admission is these days. Go inside and check these places out and set some time aside to appreciate them. There's just a lot going on. I remember on this particular day too, we had lunch. They have a cafeteria where they serve, I want to say kind of Native American type food, and we'd heard that it was really good, and it absolutely was. I want to say our meals were around $10 each. It was something relatively very affordable for a touristy area, but we had a really good meal here that particular day. Just had a great day too. This is just a great place to walk around, take their bus trip, see some great art. Yeah, again, this was 2012. And we were just absolutely blown away with this. We went back again last year in 2019 when we did our bus tour, our day-long bus tour that took us to all the big sites. But we got to spend kind of an edited amount of time here that day. I think we were only here an hour or two, which really was time to cover it. Check it off your bucket list and that kind of thing. If you're doing a bus tour, it is a good way to go and check a place like this out. But it is worthy of a lot of attention. I didn't get to go in and see all these sculptures and stuff on the 2019 trip, and I would have enjoyed more time even then. But this is a great place. I do remember too, they almost had like a flea market set up on this particular day in 2012. Where here we go. Where they had a lot of Native Americans set up selling jewelry, and I remember some books. So that was really cool. But the museum here is just extensive. And I also remember talking to a lot of the staff, and they were all super friendly. I remember when we walked in and bought our tickets, there was a fellow from Cincinnati, and I told him that we had lived in Cleveland for about a decade, and he said he wouldn't hold it against us. I told him I would always hold it against us. But, friendly staff here. And oh, and there was a really sweet lady in the gift shop on this particular day who ended up telling us about the mammoth site in South Dakota, which I did not film. I went there twice. I didn't videotape either time, but she tipped us off on the mammoth site, which to me is one of the must-sees in this region. Also, it's not right, it's not clustered right together with Custer State Park and Mount Rushmore and all that. It's a little further out of a drive, but it is a one-of-a-kind place. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't want to talk over this video. Our bus driver on our bus tour gives some great information about the family, behind the Crazy Horse Monument, and I'll let him do a lot of the talking. But yeah, anyway, I could go on and on about this. This is a great place to visit when you hit western South Dakota, and I'm glad we got to visit a couple times, and it's something special. So enjoy the video. Thanks.
Take a look at Corjock's tomb here, see if I can point it out to you. This is my first run of the day. And nope, I can see it, but I'm not be able to describe it to you. Unfortunately, what there is over here on his tomb, there's an American flag back in the rocks back there. And in the morning when the sun shines on it, or the wind blows, it'll jump right out at you because there's a little small window here. But actually, if you look at this power pole off here on the other side of the marsh, run your eye up the pole, come left on that very first wire, and if you stare at that wire, you'll see the flag blowing in the background. Way back in there by that granite.
Oh, yeah.
Colored granite outcrop.
That's where he's actually buried?
That's where, yes. Now once we get the other side of his hemlock, you'll see it again, but there's a dead mountain pine beetle kill tree right in front of it, and I've been asking them for 3 months to please cut that one lonely old tree right there. And that would make it so much easier. Now, Corjock built that tomb for himself and or his family. He passed away in 1982, and he's buried over there with his daughter, Ann. Now, you all saw Ann in the video, the young lady that was talking to you with the large glasses.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ann, his daughter, and she has since passed away, actually a little over a year ago right now. And of course she's buried over there also. But she was only 55 years old when she died, and she had diabetes and a few of the other things that went along with it. She had some terrible complications there. Corjock was anyone knows he's a very eccentric man with a very unusual sense of humor, and when he built that tomb, he welded up a 1,000-pound steel front door and put a brass knocker on the inside. See, he has literally written volumes of work as to how this job is to be completed, and he left it for his children to complete, so theoretically he's close by, and if they don't do right, he'd probably be up there knocking on the door. Telling about it. There's about 5 or 6 of them up there, isn't there?
There's a few.
They're starting to look a little bigger now. We're getting closer. Now we have a blast up on the mountain here, probably further up the course of the year. It'll average 10 to 15 days, but golly, since the 4th of July, we've actually had 6. So that blows that theory. Now they range from anywhere from 200 tons all the way up to the one we had on the 4th of July was 71,000 tons. And when that big guy went off, we were down here on the blacktop, and it'll definitely rock your world.
That's tons of dynamite?
No, it's tons of granite removed.
Oh, okay.
71,000 tons of granite removed in one shot.
Are they needing to take any of that stuff out of there to...
Well, that's where you folks come in handy now. Please take as much as you can carry. We got a big pile of it down here in the visitor center on the concrete floor museum. Please go in there and help yourself. Yeah. No, what is missing up there is what we're driving on right here. Now they have a little under 1,000 acres in their property, and all the roads have been built with the tailings off the muck pile right here, or off that muck pile that's run through this old crusher over here, and this is all the roads are built like this. Make a fantastic road bed. Does anybody see right in front of that one dozer, there's a series of orange rods back in there, right at the front blade of the dozer. They're up on that next bench, but they're back there about 100 foot behind them. Now they're drilled out. The chargers are set and they're not yet hot. And they also are experimenting over here where the drilling rig is. They got a little bit of a shelf right there. What they do, this new thing out now, they drill the holes. They drill them a little closer together and they pour this stuff down in the holes. It's like sawdust almost. And it's like that spray foam you get in the can for insulation. Well, you fill the holes full of it and go home, and the next morning it pushes the rock over. It just swells them. There's no explosion then. That way they don't shake up anything else. Oh, by the way, where the horse's head is at, and anything that's vertical is called blocked out. That's within 9 to 15 feet of finished grade. So what we're doing, we're trying to get this 360 bench done. Once it's cut back into the vertical part, we're going to stop, go back up on top and start with his fingers, the horse's mane, and then down over his head. This old crusher back in here was donated here, a little over 20 years ago. And the boys rebuilding, like I say, all the roads in their property here have been built with tailings off that muck pile that run through that old crusher right there. Now we got three boys left after Ann passed away. We got Kaz and Mark. They work up on the mountain every day. And we've got Adam. Adam, he takes care of everything in the lowlands down here. Now Adam, this is Adam's beautiful fleet of pickups right here. And Adam, as you see, is in charge of the take-home granted at the Visitor Center. So again, folks, please take home all you can carry. We appreciate it. We got all this. We got to get rid of all this. It all has to go somewhere. Any farmers back there? Huh? You tell me what kind of cow that is right over there with a white belt.
Dutch belted.
Say again?
Dutch belted.
Dutch belding. Okay. Well, no, I don't know what it is. I'm not a farmer. I was told it was a belded Galloway.
What might be?
I don't know what Galloway has to do with the.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I'm probably not right, but anyway, this is Adam's beef cattle here, and have you ever seen a nicer looking herd? I'm telling you, they look like they're groomed, don't they? And they've all had calves. He's got two of those belded whatchamacallits, and one of them had a calf here. I don't see the calf right now, but the little guy's here somewhere. Laying down? Yeah. Tell you what, that is a nice herd. Real nice looking herd. By the way, the old miner that lived here, he was here long before Korjok arrived. He had a gold mine of sorts back in his hollow. A rumor has it he got his pockets full and wanted to move on down to Denver and spend some of that. And he asked Korjok if he'd like to buy this land on the backside of the mountain here. Well, Korjok wanted it really bad, but he had no money. So they went ahead and agreed on a price because Korjok knew the old boy was going to Denver for a couple weeks. The old boy left, went down to Denver, and Korjok come up here and he cut all the timber off his property and drug it down to his sawmill. He ran it through his mill and he sold it. The old boy got back, he had enough money to pay for his land here.
Oh.
That's how he paid for it.
Brilliant.
You don't want to be trading horses with him. By the way, once they got this property, he was able to build this road all the way up around the back. And if you look at this aerial photograph up here in the top right corner of the bulkhead, you'll see the array of roads we have built around the backside of the mountain. We got a large maintenance shop up there, equipment shed. We have an explosive bunker built in the backside of the mountain. If anybody wants to swap sides, we're going to get out right down here. But if you want a picture here, go ahead. Yeah, we got the whole bus to ourselves, so enjoy it. Again, what you're seeing over here is the vertical high wall. Again, that is within 9 to 15 feet of finished grade. And someday when it's done, you're going to be able to see the horse's left eye and left ear. And you'll have to go down the road here a quarter of a mile to see the right eye. Because this whole mountain is going to be built completely in the round from ear to ear on this horse. Everything you see high wall up there is going to be all horse's head and mane. Whoops, I'm sorry. You're fine. What'd you call that cow again?
It's not a Dutch Belton.
A Dutch
Belton or black and white.
Well, that could be.
Galloway could be right.
Maybe it's Callaway or Galloway. I'm not sure. I don't remember hearing exactly what he said, but
We got some in. They have some in our part of the country, but it's they're black with a white stripper on.
They're black on either end instead of Guernsey looking.
Yeah, right.
I see. He's got Charolais and Angus. He got a little bit of everything in there. He got himself a neat herd there. But they look so good. They get a lot of good nutrients here, I guess, for the minerals, because we had some deer here in the beginning, in the spring, and then right away the bucks they were all in beautiful velvet. Now I'm from Pennsylvania, and that doesn't happen back home. We don't see that till later in the fall. And I asked him, how's come they got their horns so early? And he said it's because of all the good vitamins and the minerals and the grass and whatnot here. So apparently it works for the cattle too, because golly, they do look good. It's rare that you ever see a rib or a hip bone sticking out. They're well rounded. By the way, that old miner done real good here. I think he had a beautiful home back there. He had a 29 Chevrolet, and he even had a 2-door outhouse here, so he was doing quite well. Out here and take some pictures. And when we do, folks, please don't go over on the roadside of the bus. If somebody got run over, you know the paperwork I have to fill
Not too bad.
No.
Please watch these steps.
It's so dark.
Now, folks, we got a 10-man crew works up in the mountain up there. Isn't that amazing? Out of the 10 men, we got 2 engineers and a full-time machinist that stays up there. So actually, we got 7 drillers and blasters, and they've been working together for most of them for over 20 years. One's been there almost 30 years, and if you take Mark and Kaz up there, they were born on that mountain, so they got well over 40-some years each. They did hire a new guy here a while back. He's been here 6 years. So they're bringing some new blood in. And by the way, we've never had a fatality, a life-threatening accident. Never so much as lost 1 day of work due to an accident or injury on that mountain. And I like that old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They get more done in the winter time than they do in the summer, because you see the color of Crazy Horse's face. There's a lot of iron ore in there. So, and it's 6,600 foot in elevation, so anytime there's a lightning strike within 15 miles, they have to stop what they're doing, get in the vehicle to get off that mountain. Matter of fact, we're not even allowed off the bus if there's a strike here within 15 miles.
Who tells you that?
NOAA weather radio. They have a perimeter band set up here, so anytime there's one, they're notified, and all kind of alarms go off. And then there's 360 bench. That's it down here, you see. That elevation is 360 feet down, or the bottom of the horse's chin. Once that's cut all the way back into that blocked out area, at that point you're going to quit and look top. You see that white post up there? That's the tip of his finger.
Oh.
All right, they're going to start on that. They're coming down over the horse's mane and then down over his head. Actually, a horse's nose being as long as it is not out. It's down. Actually, it's in. He's pulling on the rein, so his nose is tucked back under. They say his right nostril you could almost put a 3-bedroom house in.
Oh.
Wow.
I can't mentally grasp the size of it. I say it and say it, but it don't mean anything. Can I try it? Can I try it? Oh, well, you really try it.
I think it's good.
Just push that button. Okay. Would you back straight up?
Any pictures?
Keep going about another 15 feet.
I mean, it's the sun.
Thank you.
Well, you got the best spot in the house.
Yeah.
And that sun comes out.
Ooh, it's cooking. Tomorrow's even going to be hotter. Yeah, and then about 2 days off, they're going to drop down to 88. It's hand carved. And it's going to consist of 11 4-foot sections of granite, and the granite's all going to come out of this muck pile down here somewhere. Matter of fact, over in front, they got a dozer here on the other side of that front end loader, and they got a bunch of big chunks over on the far side. I don't know if that's what they're doing, but they're all about 4 foot long. So. Now I don't know if that's going to be done in-house or not. I really don't know. And you know the color of his face there is from all the iron ore. So when they took the torch there to finish the last 1.5 inches off, you saw a little bit of that in the video.
Yeah.
It actually blows the melts and blows the granite off. And in the process, it fills in all the cracks, all the pores, so that face you see up there is completely maintenance-free. They figured it'll probably outlast Joan Rivers' face. But you know, when take that torch to that, and it hits that iron ore, that's where you get that beautiful patina at. And that color is just amazing.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. This color is a lot different than Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Well, because of the torch, finishing it with the torch, they just hammered theirs off.
Okay.
And they have cracks everywhere, and they have a large maintenance crew. They spend a ton of money every year filling in all the cracks and pores and making sure water don't get in there, because if it does, it's going to be all over with. But I mean, the features of that face are just awesome, you know, and it's kind of a great testament to Monique's ability to take the measurements off that 134 scale model down there and transfer them up here, and the two of them are nearly mirror images. I mean, she did a fantastic job.
Monique.
You saw her in the video walking around the crown up there taking the measurements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in charge of the engineering.
She's one of the daughters.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you.
No, I'm not. Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah. Well, see on the mountain.
That's pretty easy to do.
Okay. Hell, I'm as dyslexic as it can be. I can't walk down the street and chew gum. And but we do. We have 3 boys left on the mountain, and we have 3 girls that are in the business end. And like I say, the one girl, Monique, she's down there, but she's also in charge of the engineering up there. Now, we do have 2 engineers in how to teach engineering. All you can teach sculpturing, I suppose. No, not to my knowledge. Now, I've asked this a couple times because I get this question a lot, how many engineering degrees? No, we have a grandson. Now, Monique's son is actually, he is a graduate engineer. He's married, his wife's having a baby, and he's worked for a company over here in Idaho someplace, so he's flew the coop. We got 23 grandchildren. We hope somewhere along the line that they have the same drive as their grandfather and pick up and run with this thing. So there's 2 rules of the house. Number 1, you're going to college. Number 2, if you're not in college, you're going to be working here.
Yeah.
And until you get out of college, this is the way you're going to exist.
That's good.
And like I say, there's a couple of them I understand have actually moved on. They didn't stay here and pick this up.
This may be a silly question, a historical question, but where is the Battle of the Battle of Little Bighorn?
Yeah,
I don't have any idea where
it's in Montana. It's about
by a river. The Little Bighorn is a river.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't answer that.
So Montana, there's Wyoming, and then
Straight up, or you can take from South Dakota here. You just head northwest, go up here, and go right out on 90. It takes you right out through Montana, right out to it.
Okay.
It's a pretty good haul out there. It's a 5 hour, I guess, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
drive out there, something like that. Now, Crazy Horse here, he was one of the strategists on that battle, along with Chief Henry Standing Bear, and a number of other Lakota chiefs. But you know yourself, there never was a picture of Crazy Horse taken.
That's what I heard.
Never.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we have to head back down. I mean, it's party fault. Yeah, I'll talk to you on the way. But you know, there never was a picture. So who knew him quite well was Henry Standing Bear. And he sat down with Korjok and he did a description of it, and they did a sculpture until they all agreed that that was that's what it was. That's amazing.
How come they got a fancier bus than us?
I don't know. Figure seniority ought to get something, but that don't mean anything. Fancier bus. Hey, wait a minute. We got the fancy bus.
We got the classic.
We got the classic. They got the old, we call that the flag bus. That's what it looks like, the American flag. You know, personally, I like that old bus better than this one. This is much quieter.
Have they even attempted to give an estimated time of completion? Or is that just too...
You know, that's the #1 question. Unfortunately, there is no answer.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at 64 years up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the technology is moving so fast.
Yes.
You know, they're talking lasers now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many years it's going to be. They might someday if they get a little closer, but I think we're just so far out that they will not speculate the time. But that face up there, you saw it took 11 years for Crazy Horse's face. And that was with 80s technology, and now we got all this modern inventions. I bet they could probably do the horse's head in 10 years.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be a bit surprised 20 years from now we might have something up there we can actually see. I had a school teacher on my bus, a 5th grade teacher from Des Moines, Iowa, and she said, "Sonny," we've been friends ever since. She said, "I've got a geography book that says you're going to be done here in 125 years. So we all made a pact. We're coming back. We're going to check it out and verify that. We'll let you know what happened. You know, maybe that 125 meant all the stuff that they're going to build here, you know, all the Native American training facilities, and medical institutions, and dorms, and football fields. And that's going to be a lake up there around the front of the sculpture, and down here at the main highway, there's going to be a runway. When you come off 16, you're going to go underneath the big landing strip. And there's all kind of, you saw behind the theater there, all that fancy stuff. Oh, by the way, you see that green metal roof building sticking up there above the top of the pines? Now that houses a laser light show. We have that every night at 8:45, and if anybody would like to leave and come back, you can get a free readmit pass at the front desk up there. It's good for any one time in the next 3 days. Now, the Native Americans are going to be dancing on the outdoor deck today at 3, 5, and 7. Some people like to get together and see that. That's interesting. By the way, that laser light show came in real handy to $1 million, and that was made possible by a donation through the Ray Kroc family. And you all know Ray Kroc is the founder of McDonald's. Thank you. Yeah. Matter of fact, Ray has made a number of donations here, all well in excess of $1 million. So, boy, I'll tell you, we think pretty highly of Big D's there.
Thank you.
You know, Korjok was not well liked here by the locals for doing what he was doing for the Native Americans in the early years. Same way as children, they were ridiculed in public school. And I didn't know if you saw it on the video or not, but did they say anything about him buying this schoolhouse? I can't remember what.
The kids had their own schoolhouse.
I said, I don't know if I read it or it was on the video, but anyway, I've been saying all along, you saw in the video, and someone said the other day they didn't think it was on the video, so I don't know where I got this information at. He went down to Custer, he bought this schoolhouse, he brought it up here, he set it up, and he hired one teacher in a one-room schoolhouse down there in the woods, and 7 of his 10 children were educated there, and 4 of them went on to college. Again, I don't know if there's any engineering degrees in that bunch there. I was told there wasn't. See this naturescape down here, folks? That's one of the last things Korjok completed. He did it in '82. Of course, he passed away the same year, but what he did, he took his children to the local library and they looked up everything that was native to South Dakota, be it plant or animal. They come up with over 200 items. They studied it, they made drawings of it, traced it on brass plate, cut it out, and then etched it. They did some beautiful etching work on there. And up there behind the naturescape with a fresh coat of yellow paint's old Buddha. Oh, it's old Buddha. The old Buddha back in there? Yeah. You know, I thought Buddha was a nickname, but actually it's a real engine manufacturer. Now that particular one is hooked to a Gardner Denver compressor. And what happened, Buddha is the forerunner of Alice Chalmers. Alice Chalmers bought them out. That's how they got their get up and go. And if you go through those doors right on the left, the rock shop, and that concrete form museum's got so much information in it. Make a right, you're going to go into their log cabin. And you keep on going, you're going to the last building. That's the Native American Cultural Center, where they're over there making and selling their wares. They got some beautiful stuff over there. And everything that's white here is the largest in the world Native American museum. Please spend time here. This place, it's just amazing. Just amazing. By the way, when you get to the restaurant, there's free coffee over there.
You mentioned that one of his daughters sells her art. One of his daughters sells art. I thought I heard jewelry. Did I hear you correctly? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
She has her own
studio.
Yes, down here in Custer. She does painting. She does sculpture. She does a little bit of everything. But
do you know where that's located?
I have no idea where it's at. I really don't. Really don't.